Hello, my name is Brendan Paul, and today I'll be talking about deep instance inspection for Amazon EC2 instances with Amazon Inspector. Amazon Inspector is a vulnerability management service that continually scans your AWS workloads for software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure. Inspector automatically discovers and scans running EC2 instances, container images in Amazon Elastic Container Registry, and AWS Lambda functions. Inspector creates a finding when it discovers a software vulnerability or network configuration issue. A finding describes the vulnerability, identifies the affected resource, rates the severity of the vulnerability, and provides remediation guidance. You can analyze findings using the Amazon Inspector console or view and process your findings through other AWS services. Now let's dive into the deep inspection feature of Amazon Inspector. With the deep inspection feature, Inspector identifies software vulnerabilities in application programming packages, including Python, Java, and Node.js packages, in addition to operating system packages. Inspector discovers these application programming packages installed in default directory paths, and also allows customers to provide additional custom directory paths for Inspector discovery. This feature is activated by default for all new customers, and existing customers can activate this feature across their organization with a single click in the console. Deep inspection of EC2 instances is offered at no additional cost to existing Inspector customers. Lastly, Inspector performs deep inspection scans using data collected from an Amazon Inspector SSM plugin, and the service collects updated application inventory from instances for deep inspection every 6 hours. Now let's jump over to the console and see how we can use this Amazon Inspector feature. Deep inspection is activated by default for all new Inspector customers. Existing customers can activate this feature across their organization with a single click in the console. If you are an existing customer, to see the status of your accounts, you can navigate to the Account Management window. From there, you will see a list of your AWS accounts and whether or not they have the feature enabled. Accounts which do not have deep inspection enabled will have a note under Amazon EC2 scanning, which says Deep Inspection Deactivated. If you activated Amazon Inspector before April 17, 2023, you can activate Deep Inspection through the console banner or through the API. In this case, we'll use the console banner to activate this feature. As you can see, we have enabled the Deep Inspection feature, and we will wait for Inspector to start scanning our instances. Now that Inspector has had some time to scan my EC2 instances, let's review a finding. If I navigate to an EC2 instance and look at the findings, you will see that there are a number of application package vulnerabilities found. We'll examine the one in the Python JWT module. Python JWT is a module for generating and verifying JSON Web Tokens. We see here that versions prior to 3.3.4 are subject to authentication bypass attacks. We also see that the severity of this finding is critical, and some of the details about the last known public exploit. We can see what version the package was fixed in, and the file path for the finding. We can also see some details about the vulnerability and the EC2 instance that this vulnerability was found on. Now that we've looked at an application package vulnerability, let's see how we can create custom paths in Inspector. I'll first navigate to EC2 scanning settings. All accounts can define up to 5 custom paths for their individual account. If you're the delegated administrator for your organization, you can define 5 additional paths that will apply across your entire organization. This amounts to a total of 10 custom paths scanned per account in the organization. Amazon Inspector scans all custom paths in addition to the following default paths that are scanned for all accounts. Finally, I'll go ahead and add a third custom path to this account and select Save. In this video, we talked about the ability to do deep inspection of EC2 instances with Amazon Inspector. We looked at how you can enable this feature with one click if you are already an Amazon Inspector customer, and showed an example of an application package finding that this feature enables. If you'd like to learn more about Amazon Inspector, check out some of the links below the video or the AWS documentation.